Hi, this is DJ Tina, host of HMTV Canada E-Zine. On the phone with me today is Don Coleman, Canada's premier AC/DC vocalist. Hi Don, congratulations on your new song, Women, Whiskey, and Rock and Roll, celebrating the life, spirit, and former frontman Bon Scott for AC/DC.
Hey Tina, it's great to be here.
Wow, your new track is creating a buzz, airing daily on 40 radio stations. How many countries so far to date is airplaying Women and Whiskey and Rock and Roll?
Track has actually received airplay on 45 stations in Australia and on more than 60 stations in 7 countries, with more coming on board weekly. It started out on Rebel FM in Australia, which is a 40-station network, has been picked up by the BBC, Dublin City Radio in Dublin, Ireland, and Power 96 in Minnesota, WRUW in Cleveland, and some major rock radio stations in Canada.
I understand Women, Whiskey, and Rock and Roll will be included on your compilation CD. What's the expected date release for your new album?
The compilation is not actually my CD, but rather in Australia to raise funds for the Australian Cancer Council, and it'll be released later this year on a date to be announced. The Australian compilation CD is the brainchild of music promoter Chris Cook, in conjunction with a festival that he's organizing called Rock Out With Your Block Out. Chris's team includes some of the biggest names in Australian music. The CD will contain tracks from some of Australia's finest and most renowned musicians, and it's an honor to be the only Canadian included on the disc. There's been other compilation CD offers, but I feel strongly that raising money for the Australian Cancer Council and being part of this compilation is the perfect fit for me and the song itself. While the process continues, I'm working meticulously on the rest of the songs for my new album.
Can you tell us about your new album?
Well, the new album will include Women, Whiskey, and Rock and Roll, and a collection of approximately 9 other songs in a similar vein as Women, Whiskey, and Rock and Roll.
Can you tell us about your new video, Women, Whiskey, and Rock and Roll, the main special websites fans can access your video for viewing?
Well, I'm very proud of the video for Women, Whiskey, and Rock and Roll, as I produced it in my living room. The budget for the video was $25, used to purchase some rare photos of Bon Scott that are included in the production. I received the highest honor possible when I discovered that the video was recognized by AC/DC on their official website, where it has been for 6 consecutive weeks. And at this point, the video has garnered almost 6,000 views. All of my video presentations, including live performances, are available on YouTube by searching Don Coleman.
What are the fans' reactions and what they are saying about you play live?
Well, the fans are a blessing. They inspire me and lift my spirits to a higher place. They say things to me like, keep doing what you're doing, never give up, that was great. I heard your song on the radio and I dig it. Sometimes they say, hey, AC/DC guy, you better be singing tonight, with a smile on their face, of course. Sometimes they say things like, are you okay? Can you still talk?
Oh, that's funny.
And some of the best compliments are, that sounded exactly like the album. They keep telling me I'm awesome. One day I'll believe it. If they enjoy themselves, it makes my night. I love what I do. That they sense that and see that it comes from the heart and a raging passion, and we all have a good time is the most important thing.
What inspired you to play tributes to Bon Scott and Brian Johnson?
Well, I've always been a big fan of AC/DC since my high school days, and a few years back, while performing in a classic rock band, I decided to introduce an AC/DC song into the repertoire, and the response from the crowd was overwhelming. It was at that moment that I knew I'd found a niche. They loved it and I loved it, so I went to work studying many AC/DC songs, which I now perform on a regular basis. I've created a lovable monster. People demand that I sing AC/DC, and that's cool with me.
How about Brian Johnson? Are you doing any tributes for that person?
Oh, I do about 50% Bon Scott, 50% Brian Johnson to capture both eras of AC/DC. I did want to mention that I've received many messages via the internet from friends and fans of Bon Scott saying that they love the song Women, Whiskey, and Rock and Roll, and that Bon would have loved it too. That it's a song that Bon Scott didn't get a chance to perform, and some of these comments have come from notable friends of Bon, like Vince Lovegrove, former bandmate with Bon in the Valentines, and the man who introduced Bon to the band AC/DC.
That's awesome.
Also from Doug Thorncroft, the president of the Western Australia Bon Scott Fan Club, and also notably Bob Daisley, who is the former bass player for Ozzy Osbourne from the Blizzard of Oz era. I was just going to say that all these people have a copy of the song in their music collections, and it's a great honor.
Cool. Was it at the Hard Rock Cafe in Toronto where you won the top male vocalist Ultimate Jam in 2005 for Back in Black?
Yes, it was, and it was a really big rush. And on bass during my performance of Back in Black was Jeff Jones from Tom Cochrane and Red Rider, and it's an evening I'll never forget.
What were the fans like that night when you were performing? What was the buzz and the energy like when you were performing at that time?
Well, I know I was in the final night of the competition, which took place over many weeks, and the bar was packed, and I just went up there and gave it my all, sang Back in Black, and to be quite honest with you, the place exploded.
That's cool.
I loved it.
I bet. Can you tell us about Susan Massino's novel, Let There Be Rock, which was recommended a novel in your biography?
Yeah, well, I discovered the book Let There Be Rock by Susan Massino, and I ordered a copy of the book, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. It covers a detailed history of the band with unique twists, because she is a friend of the band AC/DC, and she also knew Bon Scott and spent quite a bit of time with him. So in the book she describes accounts of some of her memorable experiences seeing AC/DC perform in the early days and spending time with the members of AC/DC. And I feel that Let There Be Rock is a gem of a read.
I gotta get a copy of that for sure.
I'd highly recommend it.
I will get it, for sure. Who is the superb management company that takes care of all your business activities, bookings, and promotions, and who have they worked together with other great artists in the past?
Well, it's a really cool story because I met my manager at a club in Richmond Hill, Ontario. He was walking around the corner of the bar and he said to his friend, this is what he told me, he said, "Hey, the DJ's playing Highway to Hell on the sound system." Then he looked and saw me singing the song on stage, and he approached me after I left the stage, and the rest is history. Michael Bridges of Southern Cross Gypsy Promotions. He's a seasoned veteran in the music business. He's told me a lot of pretty wild stories that have occurred for him over the years, and we work together well as a team, striving to reach our goals, and his dedication is unparalleled.
I'm keeping that one.
Has an uncanny ability to predict what's going to happen next and how to make it happen. And Michael's worked with artists such as Jeff Healey, the Paul James Band, Robbie Rocks, and other notable artists in Canada, as well as Midnight Oil, Rose Tattoo, Jimmy and the Boys, Biggles First Case, and Coin Operated, which are acts from Australia.
Very impressive. When did you start penning songs and recording melodies full-time that amass 500-plus songs from bluegrass to country rock?
Well, all my life I've enjoyed writing, and at a very young age I used to write poetry. But the songwriting thing began in the early 80s. I met a friend, Mike Randall, who had 5 cassette decks linked together to make a multi-track recording system, and he asked me to sing with him on a song he wrote called I Don't Care. We had a lot of fun doing it. I still have a copy of the song, and I thought, wow, this is great. He inspired me. From that point on, I started writing lyrics and melodies and have recorded many songs over the years. I took a break from it all for about a decade and decided one day I wanted to start writing again. So I read a few songwriting books to learn more about the process, because you can never know enough. And then I spent 18 months, 7 days a week, honing my songwriting craft in the evenings and wrote 250 songs. And, well, after witnessing a bluegrass show in Moncton, New Brunswick, I wrote 25 bluegrass songs and created a bluegrass book that I've distributed to various bluegrass artists for their consideration to do my songs. And looking back on all the material, I knew at that point that I had to improve even more, so I've taken the songwriting skill to an even higher level and will continue to do so.
Has that been a major challenge for you to do that, to pursue it? The way you're pursuing it, like full-time, the dedication that goes along with it?
Well, it's something that I really love, so it doesn't seem like a lot of effort because I really enjoy it, but I think that where the real, well, I suppose a bit of effort has come into play is to continue improving and understanding how to write a great song. it seems to be a constant process. So by dedicating myself to it and studying it as much as possible, I feel that my songwriting talents are growing and strengthening, and that the longer I stick to it, the better I'll become.
Okay. What do you mainly express in your lyrics?
Well, I cover a wide variety of topics, but I think the most important thing is to express universal thoughts using as many catchphrases as possible that people can relate to in the least amount of words. It creates a powerful story, and I like to start with titles, as did Bon Scott. I'm always looking for titles. I see them on signs, I think of them out of the blue, and I hear people say them while they chat in bars. Song titles are really everywhere if you look for them, and when I hear a good one, I feel that I know it. And from there, I find that it's key for me to write the chorus first, or one verse and then the chorus, because all writers have limitations at any given moment. And by writing the chorus first, which is supposed to be the strongest part of the song, and using your best ideas there, I find helps to create a stronger song. And I find some great songs are written in minutes, and others take longer. Some flow like a river, I guess you could say, and others are like laying bricks, one brick at a time. And I enjoy using double entendres and innuendo, because you can say things that you aren't supposed to and get away with it.
Do you have an engineer that helps record, mix, and master all your song tracks?
As a matter of fact, I do, and he's one of my best friends. I feel that a lot of people know him, but not enough people can ever know a guy like this, and I feel that he's a hidden gem in the music business, and he's my miracle worker. His name is Jim Zolis of Zolis Audio in Toronto, and he is a master engineer who's been working as an engineer and developing his skills for approximately 30 years in Toronto. And he's worked with Celine Dion and the Nylons and Jane Siberry, to mention a few. And he's the best engineer I've ever had the pleasure of working with, and he's an awesome person and a master of his craft. I nicknamed him the Surgeon, as his ability to bring out the best in a project, for me, is second to none.
Very impressive. Did your previous musical project, Head Start, do well in raising funds for the less fortunate families in New Brunswick?
Yes, the project was a great success. The song helped raise awareness of the charity through airplay on 4 radio stations locally, and it also helped raise funds for the charity through the sale of the CD, which helped them exceed their yearly goals for their last 3 Christmas campaigns. And for anyone who would like to purchase the CD, it's available online at indiepool.com, INDIEPOOL.com. That's indiepool.com, where you would search in their online store for the band name Musicians Union, which is MUZICIANSUNION. And 100% of the proceeds go to the charity.
I'm curious, what were the popular song tracks from your album Inner Sanctum was receiving the most airplay on Q107 and CNFY back in 1980? And can we still request them for airplay today?
Well, the only song that was submitted to Q107 was the song called Runaway, and it did receive airplay during the Q107 Homegrown Contest. And on CFNY, they played the songs Love Signals, Only You Know You, Standing in the Rain, Culture Dance, and also Runaway on the Streets of Ontario show and during the Great Canadian Talent Search competition. Now, in today's music has changed a lot since the 80s, and I really don't think that you could request one of my songs on CFNY or Q107 today, but it was a real great pleasure, and it was very inspiring when I was very young to submit my songs to these stations, and each and every time that I did, they always picked some of the songs that I had submitted each time and played them. And I was also reviewed by 2 DJs at CFNY in the music magazine called Music Express back in that day, where they reviewed one of my releases.
Can we still access and buy Inner Sanctum today through the vinyl, through the internet, or any HMV stores?
Well, actually, what I've done is I've kind of left that part of my life behind me. I feel that my writing skills and my vocal skills and everything that I'm doing now has improved such a great deal, and the quality of the productions that I'm creating now have improved a great deal. And I feel that that was a really enjoyable part of my career, and it was something that I enjoyed when I was younger, and feel that it was like the foundation for what I'm doing today. So Inner Sanction's pretty much something of the past. I'm very proud of it, but I'm more focused on the now.
This brings me to my next question. How would you say your style has changed since you first started playing back in the day and the vocal styling you are specializing in today?
Things have changed a lot. In the 80s, my music was all about multi-layered keyboards blended with acoustic and electric instruments. Today, it's all about straight-ahead rock and roll, which my forthcoming album will reveal. But it depends on the specific project and the sound and message I'm trying to get across. My vocal stylings today are similar to the 80s when I want to express a smooth, sweet message, but they're dramatically different when I let loose and rock things up. The best of both worlds. I certainly have improved vocally. It's a process like life itself, always striving to be the best I can be.
Have you toured or shared the stage with other big bands in the past, and do you sell your CDs at your live shows?
Well, my immediate answer is no about sharing the stage with other big bands because I haven't done a sound check with AC/DC yet. But on the other hand, I have shared the stage with many talented musicians that can hold their own with the best in the world, and it was an invaluable experience, and I continue to perform with excellent musicians in my local region. And I have sold T-shirt buttons and CDs at my shows, and I have a reorder in on T-shirts at the moment because the last batch sold out much quicker than I thought they would.
From your experience in the music industry, what advice do you have for young musicians starting out to form their own bands today?
Well, I think the most important thing to do is to do it because you love it. That's the bottom line. Be passionate and strive to hone your craft in as many ways possible. And if you're pursuing music as a career, learn as much about the business as you can. Be relentless and never give up. And create a great team around you, and always remember the 3 rules taught to me by my manager, Michael Bridges. Rule number 1, take care of the talent. That means eating properly, exercising, sleeping properly, just generally being a healthy person. Rule number 2, practice, practice, practice. And rule number 3 is, if you follow rules number 1 and number 2, bigger things will come.
Before we wrap up our interview, can you tell us your web address where fans can access live show information, buy Don Coleman CDs and merchandise?
Sure, you can check out my websites on MySpace. There are 3 of them. That's myspace.com/Don Coleman, myspace.com/The AC/DC Vocalist, and myspace.com/Musicians Union. And once again, that's MUZICIANSUNION. And you can also search YouTube for Don Coleman live performance videos, and also the Women, Whiskey, and Rock and Roll video, which is also, as I mentioned earlier, available for viewing on AC/DC's official website at acdc.com/fromtheband. For merchandise, you can contact my management company, Southern Cross Gypsy, at hotmail.com for merchandise ordering details. And soon there will be a link where the Australian CD compilation can be purchased to raise funds for the Australian Cancer Council. And the CD Head Start, as I mentioned, can be purchased from indiepool.com by searching Musicians Union. And also there's going to be some more things developing, because everything is a process, so there will be some more merchandise and releases available on my websites. So keep an eye on my websites for upcoming offers on merchandise. But the most important thing is I hope everybody enjoys the music I create.
Awesome. Any last words?
Well, Tina, I'd like to thank you for having me on the show today. It's been a pleasure, and it means the world to me that you've had me as a guest. But I'd like to leave you with these final words, the words of Bon Scott. If you think it's easy doing one-night stands, try playing in a rock and roll band. Long way to the top if you want to rock and roll. If you want to be a star of stage and screen, look out. It's rough and mean. It's a long way to the top if you want to rock and roll.
Thank you, Don, for allowing our E-Zine to interview you. You rock.
You rock, Tina. Thanks for having me. It's been an absolute pleasure.